Hey everyone, this is going to be part 3 of my series on the criticisms of Young Earth Creationism. The topic of this video is going to be one that's often overlooked in the Young Earth Creationism debate, and that is the hows and whys of marine life during the global flood event that creationists believe is described in the Bible. The topic is one that I think is not really discussed, and it should be, because there are some serious logistic problems that are presented when you really stop to think about it. And the implication of the flood story in Genesis is that God didn't make specific provisions for the aquatic animals because they would one would assume would be immune from the effects of a global flood. But the problem is that many aquatic animals are incredibly sensitive to changes in their watery environments. For example, with water salinity. An event like a global flood would have exposed animals who are very sensitive to fresh water to huge amounts of salt water, and vice versa. Animals who lived in salt water suddenly having the salinity levels of their environment dramatically decreased. To be fair, I did find an article by a man named Kenneth B. Cummings on a creationist site who attempted to answer these questions. He suggested that there may have been a few safe zones, quote-unquote, where the environmental stresses wouldn't have been as serious, and where an animal, like an aquatic animal who was sensitive to salinity changes, could go and find sanctuary. The problem is that these animals that are so sensitive to salinity, are spread all over the world, and if they didn't happen to be near a safe zone, they would be killed off. There's also the problem of how turbulent the waters would have been if such a global flood had kicked up. I mean, creationists claim that the force of this flood was so great that it would have been capable of breaking up supercontinents, changing global weather patterns, and carving out natural wonders like the Grand Canyon. How would the smaller species of marine life survive this? How do you keep the whales and other marine mammals from drowning in such turbulent waters? To his credit, Mr. Cummings openly states that this event could have easily resulted in the extinction of many types of animals that are only known from the fossil record, and marine animals that are only known from the fossil record. But this seems contradictory to the general implication of the Noah story, because God's command to Noah is to preserve, basically, one would think, a representative of each species, or baramin, if you prefer the creationist lingo, that he had created, so that they wouldn't be completely wiped out. Additionally, there is the problem of animals, like modern sea turtles, who lay their eggs on land but live much of their life in the water. What are we to assume? That for all the time the Bible alleges the floodwaters covered the earth, that these animals weren't mating or laying eggs in the sand? I mean, doesn't that seem kind of strange that they don't go all of this time without, reproducing? It's a problem that I think is a very serious one in Young Earth Creationism, and it's rarely ever addressed by global flood advocates. In any case, this is Skeptic Talk signing out. Question the answers by answering the questions, or rather the other way around. Answer the questions by questioning the answers. I'll see you later.